Breaking news from Alaska. Former President Donald Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska, on August 15, 2025, in what analysts are calling an unusual and high-profile summit. The meeting came on short notice and involved top-level diplomacy on some of the most pressing geopolitical issues, including the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. What makes this meeting unusual is both the format and approach. Unlike typical summits, the Kremlin announced that no joint press release or official documents would be issued immediately, leaving outcomes uncertain. Despite this, Trump's style and handling of difficult topics reportedly earned high praise from Putin and the Kremlin, signaling a potentially significant shift in diplomatic dynamics. The timing is also notable. The Anchorage meeting occurred at 11 a.m. local time on August 15th, which was 3 a.m. Beijing time on August 16th, highlighting the international attention this summit drew. While the public and media were kept largely in suspense, a news conference was planned to summarize possible agreements and outcomes. This video will break down the Alaska summit across 5 slides: an overview of the meeting, the absence of joint statements, Trump's unusual approach, potential angles on Ukraine, and the travel schedule for both leaders. Each slide will provide context, expert insights, and implications for global politics. The meeting took place in Anchorage, Alaska, a strategic and symbolic location bridging the U.S. and Russia geographically and diplomatically. Scheduled at 11 a.m. local time, it brought together 2 highly influential figures in global politics on short notice, emphasizing the urgency and importance of the discussions. Short-notice summits like this are rare, as high-level diplomatic meetings typically involve extensive preparation, pre-agreed agendas, and media coordination. The Alaska meeting's rapid organization suggests that both sides prioritize direct communication over formal procedures, potentially to explore sensitive issues with flexibility. Anchorage has historical significance for U.S.-Russia diplomacy. Its location provides a neutral, accessible site for dialogue, often chosen to minimize distractions from domestic politics in either country. Hosting a high-level summit here underscores the strategic weight of this encounter and the attention it garnered internationally. Finally, the timing across time zones reflects global interest. The meeting occurred at 3 a.m. Beijing time, ensuring that observers in Asia and Europe would watch closely. The international audience underscores the broader geopolitical implications beyond U.S.-Russia bilateral relations. One unusual aspect of the Alaska summit is the absence of a joint statement or press release. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov indicated that no official documents or agreements are expected at this stage, leaving media and analysts without concrete evidence of outcomes. This format contrasts with typical diplomatic summits, where joint statements summarize agreements, initiatives, and shared commitments. By withholding a joint press release, both sides retain flexibility in negotiations and avoid committing publicly before consensus is reached. A public news conference is expected to summarize possible agreements and highlight areas of convergence, but details remain vague. Observers note that this approach allows each side to control the narrative and mitigate domestic political fallout, particularly given the sensitive topics under discussion. While the lack of a joint statement can create uncertainty, it also reflects a strategic choice. Both leaders appear to prioritize direct dialogue and internal coordination over immediate public messaging, indicating that the substantive negotiations may be complex and ongoing. Reports indicate that Trump approached the Alaska summit in a highly unconventional manner, directly addressing the toughest issues without following traditional diplomatic scripts. Kremlin officials and President Putin reportedly highly appreciated this approach, suggesting it facilitated candid discussion. Trump's style diverges from standard protocol by focusing on straightforward, direct engagement rather than lengthy preparatory briefings or formal negotiations. This approach can yield both opportunities and risks. It may accelerate problem solving, but also introduce unpredictability into sensitive discussions. The meeting highlighted Trump's ability to handle complex topics with a hands-on style, which the Kremlin praised as efficient and pragmatic. However, analysts caution that while this approach may foster short-term rapport, it remains unclear how it will influence discussions on Ukraine or longer-term diplomatic outcomes. In short, Trump's unusual method underscores a departure from conventional diplomatic norms, attracting both commendation from Russia and scrutiny from international observers. While Ukraine was not the primary focus, it emerged as a key potential discussion point. Peskov emphasized that Ukraine's viewpoint should be considered later, indicating that decisions would require additional consultation and coordination. Reports suggest that Trump proposed a possible trilateral meeting involving Ukrainian President Zelensky, signaling an openness to exploring new negotiation formats. This idea could influence both current and future discussions on conflict resolution, sanctions, and regional stability. The Ukraine angle remains highly sensitive. Any public or private statements regarding Ukraine are closely monitored, as they can impact international alliances, negotiations, and media narratives. Analysts note that even informal proposals at high-level summits can shape diplomatic expectations and future agreements. Ultimately, while details remain uncertain, the Alaska summit may set the stage for broader trilateral engagement or influence subsequent negotiations on Ukraine, making it a critical focal point for global observers. Finally, let's review the leaders' travel schedule, which underscores the logistical complexity and tight timing of the summit. Trump departed the White House at 6:45 a.m. ET on August 15th, traveling to Anchorage for the meeting. The Alaska summit occurred during daylight hours, with discussions and events running until 5:45 p.m. local time. Trump returned to the White House on early August 16th, completing a round-trip journey that required careful coordination across time zones. This schedule highlights the intensity of high-level diplomacy. Even brief visits involve extensive planning, security measures, and coordination with domestic and international officials. Despite the short duration, the summit carried significant weight, demonstrating that timing and logistics are critical components of diplomatic strategy. The rapid travel also reflects the urgency and high stakes of discussions, particularly given the topics on the agenda, such as geopolitical stability, Ukraine, and broader U.S.-Russia relations.